Hello, you guys. Welcome to today's YouTube Live. I'm super excited. I've got Kristi up much bigger because we are doing 4th of July.
Yes.
So, you guys, it's July 1st, which if you haven't made 4th of July decor, you absolutely can, right? There's still time to do it. But we first have to look at Kristi's background. Kristi, will you show us this gorgeous setup?
Did my little background. I'm all about 4th of July. I think it is literally my second. I'm trying to decide which is my most favorite, Christmas or 4th of July. I think they go hand in hand, but I'm all about it. So Christmas and 4th of July is my house on crack. So yeah, but I thought for the 4th of July craft, we got to have some 4th of July, garb in the back, right? So some of those items I made and some I did not. So
I love it. It's so good. All right, I'm going to switch this view so that you guys can see what we're going to make today. Kristi, will you talk about this?
Yes. So this has been, I made this a few years back with my kids. We went to a 4th of July party at our church, and this was handed out as one of the little favors. And so what it is, it's a cup, and inside the cup, there are some goodies, if I can make this work for the camera here. So I've got some goodies in here that are kind of like a treat box. There's some candy in here, some pop rocks. In the other one, I had some bubble gum, and there's some stickers and flags and necklaces. So all the 4th of July garb for kids. You could do this for any other occasion as well. I thought a Christmas tree would be cute as well. But yeah, so that's what we're making today. And it is literally a firecracker that is made out of a coffee cup with a lid. So that's what we're making.
Gosh. Okay. So before we get started with this, Kristi, will you talk a little bit about what you've been doing? So you've been designing with me for a while. You're in Design Suite. You're actually at the university as well.
Kind of all over the place, Carina,
He's been doing all sorts of really cool things. So will you talk a little bit about what you love to design before we jump right into this project?
Absolutely. So I have a quick history is I've sewn, I've quilted, I've done silhouette, SVG files, taught classes, all the things. And when I came to Design Suite, it was really about, oh my gosh, this is how it all could come together. I can't make enough quilts to make enough money in the day, can't make enough of this and one thing at a time and sell those items. And so when I came to Design Suite, it just a light bulb for me, because what I love to create is all of that. And I promise I'm staying in my lane. It's difficult, as Karina suggests. Right? But what I loved about Design Suite is that I have to, right now I'm starting with SVGs. And when I say starting, I've been doing this now for 3 years or so. And then I can take those SVGs and turn them into some of those other items that I also love. But right now I am focused on SVGs. I love SVGs. I love my silhouette machine, and I've been doing that for years. So it's way more fun to make them than it is to buy them and use them. So I can make them the way I need to make them and the way I want to make them. And so that's what my focus is right now.
So I love it so much. Okay, so you guys, we're going to dig right into this project. I'm going to flip our screens again. And once we kind of get going, we'll kind of give you some information. If you're like, man, I love this project, I would love to see more of what Kristi has. We'll make sure and give you links. There's also links in the description, you guys, if you want to see what Kristi is up to. Okay, so do we need to start with supplies here? Because you have...
Yeah, we can. I have, let me move this over. So first of all, these are supplies. So the supplies for this is really readily available. I started with a kit here from Echo Park. This kit is actually sold on Amazon and many other places, right? It's their Let Freedom Ring line. You can use any paper that you like, but this one I loved because there's so many different variances of 4th of July. There's even some stickers on here. So I loved this kit for that. But any 4th of July paper, we obviously have the cups. My daughter's drawing is on this one. She decided to decorate one for us, but these are the 8-ounce coffee cups. They're the paper and with the plastic lid. The reason I'm making reference to the size is because the SVG file that we use to make that cone on top fits this size. So if you get a different size than this size, you'll need to change that that SVG file to fit.
And Kristi, do they need the coffee lid as well for this project?
Yes, absolutely, 100%. That's what we're going to glue that cone to, which you'll see in just a moment. Then we have some straws. These are paper straws. You can plastic, any colors or scheme that you'd like. Obviously, this is the fourth. Then we've got some cupcake liners here. These cupcake liners are for this. Instead of a sticker, I have these cupcake liners with a star. This does have an adhesive back on this star. However, I will tell you for this project, I take it off, but you'll see I'll glue it on with hot glue just for the, to keep it together. Once a child gets this, by the way, it gets trashed, so you have to be okay with that. So anyway, but I have the foil. You can use any cupcake liner that you want, but I have the red and the blue here, or you can use the silver or whatever else you like. Then we've got the underneath portion here is it's a big garland, which you can see here. And all I did was cut a piece of that off. You're going to lose some, be okay. You're going to have some of these little guys in your floor. That's fine. You'll never know once you get it on the bottom of this cup. All right. So we've got that, and then the fun stuff, right? So then all the goodies that we're going to put inside that cup. Now, these are things I've chosen. These little flags here are fun. These are really just cupcake sticks that you would put in a cupcake. It just kind of helps to level it up, and put a flag in there is important. We've got some fun little cup straw covers that I picked up. We've got some necklaces. We've got some rubber bracelets, a glow stick. Kids love glow sticks for 4th of July. So we've got the necklace. You don't have to use that, of course. And then of course the candy. So these pop rocks I thought were really cute. The way the shape is, you can buy any candy you want. Of course, nothing is 4th of July without a Tootsie Roll, right? Some other bubble gums and things like that are really fun as well. And then some stickers. So we have some stickers here. Don't ask me if I made these, because I didn't, Karina. Don't yell at me. It's okay. But I didn't make those. But
fine. You know what I think is interesting about 4th of July? Because I'm up here at Bear Lake and they've got a candy shop here. And even as you're showing all the candies, one of the things that's interesting to me is there's nothing more 4th of July to me than like nostalgic candy, like old time candy.
Yep.
Why is that?
100%. I don't know, but it's like maybe it takes us back to our childhood and how we feel like that just is our happy place. I don't know.
Like I
so
love
you ready
when
for me to start?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, let's do it. Okay, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I was just thinking while you're talking, I can create here. So what I did first is we have our cup, we take it upside down. I'm using a regular pencil. I don't go push this all the way down for these straws, depending on your straw size, whatever. But I'm just going to take that and pop it down in there. I just go down until the lead ends, again, for the straw size that I have. So obviously they're different. We're going to take our glue gun, oops, excuse me, and we're going to drop this straw down in here, and it's going to be a little tight fit because I didn't make it too big. And the first thing I'm going to do is grab my glue gun, thankfully for glue guns, right? And I am literally just going to put a tab of glue. Now, this is going to look ugly, because glue gun can tend to look that way, but we don't really care.
See it, right,
cover it
Kristi?
up. That's 100% correct. Now, the reason I'm starting with this is we need to let this dry. Let me show you why. See this guy here? We don't need any crooked fireworks. It's going to blow the wrong way. So this is
why
why
mine went somewhere else, Kristi. You're like, oh, it's crooked.
Yeah, this firework is going to the left. So anyway, that's why we want to just leave it sitting for a second. And then we're also going to drop down some glue. I have a pointed tip glue gun here, which I love this glue gun. And you're going to put it around the edge of that straw, and it's going to just help hold it in place. Obviously, this isn't going to get to your candy, so all is safe. And then just make sure that straw stays in place. All right.
Yeah. And by the way, you guys, those are you guys that are here in the chat and live. If you have any questions, please drop in the chat.
Yes.
Thank you for all the super cute, such a cute ideas from Daily America. Muck D Art said everything looks amazing. Kristi, Shara just said hi to everyone. So feel free to ask questions. I think you guys can see how I think this project, Kristi, as you're doing it, I'm starting to realize like part of what makes it so cute is the unified color scheme, which you've done an excellent job on.
Thank you. I am a junkie for that, honestly. So I'm going to turn these cupcake liners over, and we're just going to squish them and scrunch them. So be okay with that, y'all. Just be okay with it. So I'm literally just going to pinch the center of it right here, and we're just going to ruffle it up. So you can see, I'm like, oh, it's flat right there. I'm going to grab that side and ruffle it up just a little more. And I'm just smushing that center down. That's it. Like literally that's it. That's all you do. We're going to do the same thing on the red. We're going to grab these together and then we are going to glue them together. So if you go like this and you see one is bigger than the other or the same size, you might need to do a little more scrunching to make it a little smaller because we love our layers, right? And I will say, a very big junkie on color schemes. When I do parties or I do decor, I'm like, oh, if it's red, put it in there. I have an antique suitcase over here that is red that I got in an antique shop and it's dirty and stinky, but I'm like, it's red. I'm taking it, right? Because it'll go with what? Christmas, 4th of July, blah, blah, blah. So we're
That's
gonna
how I
glue.
got my lamper, Kristi. Like, because it had
Is it?
turquoise. It had a turquoise stove in it, and I was like, I want the turquoise
Oh,
stove.
you're like, I'm buying a trailer. I love it.
I bought a trailer based on that. Shara's asking, where'd you get those spangles and sparkles?
Spangles and sparkles. What is she asking about?
I don't know. All of
Ooh,
it?
I don't
Where'd you,
know.
well,
Oh,
where'd you
well,
get
some of
most of
this,
it? Probably a craft store, right?
yeah. So when I made this before, I had ordered a lot from Amazon. This year I went to Hobby Lobby, and honestly, wherever. Go wherever you find the things that you want, right? Some of the bubble gums, the Tootsie Rolls, the candy I got on Amazon. And then here I am putting this glue on here just so you can see.
Yeah.
But I got some of these items this year. Sometimes it just depends on where you're going. The dollar spot at Target, Hobby Lobby. And I'll be honest, usually I will just grab from wherever, right? And so these particular items, the garland, the stickers came from Amazon, candy came from Amazon, all of the little goodies that go inside, those came from Hobby Lobby, but they are on Amazon as well. So, all right, so
Yeah.
now we got our
She
little
said
guy together.
I think you're
What's that?
thinking of that thing over there, right, Kristi? What do we call that? The thing that you could
This?
wrap around your neck? No. She's talking about the
Oh,
glittery
this?
that. Yes.
Hobby Lobby.
Hobby
But last
Lobby.
year I did get it at Amazon, and the one last year had flags on it. So again, it doesn't really matter. It had little flags. It was a completely different look. But as long as it's got those sprouts on there looking like a little firework spark, right? And any of these metallic ones can tend to look like that, right? With the little sparks on them, just like this, because it looks like it's taking off, on the like the
Mhm.
sparks that come out. So yeah, that one in particular, I got at Hobby Lobby.
Okay. I love it.
Okay.
So good.
Any other
Shar, great
questions?
questions, you guys.
Yeah, good
That's really
question.
and then by the way, will you guys do me a favor? If you like this video, will you go ahead and like it down at the bottom? If you're here on YouTube, like the video. And we're going to show, I was going to say something else. I completely forgot about it until the
What's
second.
up?
And that is, if you're watching right now, okay, it's July 1st, 4th of July stuff is on sale. So like, it is
Yes,
not too late to do it. If anything, it's probably cheap
100%.
to do it.
Yep, exactly. So again, we're just gonna keep moving them forward, putting this thing together. And yeah, I was gonna say that because it is kind of close to the 4th, but you know what? Look how fast I'm doing this. And you know what I did? I put my kids in, I employed my kids. So I did some of the things that like glue gun and some of the things that were a little more picky or whatever. And I had them fill them. I had them filling,
Mm.
and I had just all my cups were lined up where the straws were drying. While they're drying, they're doing this. It doesn't, they really do go together pretty quick. I think we got a bunch of them together in like, I don't know, 30 minutes or so, maybe an hour or so. It goes pretty quick if you've got an assembly line. All right, so we're done with that. Are there any questions around any of that? Put them in there and we'll get to them. But in the
I,
meantime, I'm gonna work on this
I
cone.
am obsessed with those straws. I feel like I've never seen straws like that before.
So now you're making me wonder where I got these. I think I got these at Hobby Lobby as well.
They're
Almost
fantastic.
positive. Aren't they fun? So now you're gonna have to go to Hobby Lobby for your 4th of
Yes.
July.
Okay, the piece you're about
All
to
right,
show us is a cut file. Is that
that's
correct?
correct. So this is a cut file and it's sized again to just reiterate to this 8-ounce cup.
Okay,
Okay.
before we move forward, can we
Yep.
talk about where they can find your cut files?
100%. So Kristi Rachelle Studio on Etsy. I am still building my shop. I work full time outside of this, and so I'm still building my shop. I feel like I've been in build mode for years. Karina just puts up with me. I'm just kidding. But
Kristi makes fabulous stuff, you guys. So go
I
check
have
out her Etsy shop. It's Kristi Rachelle Studio.
studio.
It's
That's
still
correct.
okay. So
Yeah.
studio. So if you want to go check out her die lines, like what I love, especially even about this, is she's perfectly sized it for you already. So if you go to try to make this yourself, it's going to be a pain in the butt. But if you've got this perfectly sized piece for this, it's like ready to
Yes,
go.
so much easier, I'm telling you. Also, you'll see on that listing, it will be these in the listing. These from my display I had on with these when I made them before, it will be a display of those, so you can't miss it on the shop. And there's not a lot in there yet. We're getting there. But anyway, so the one thing I love about this paper, to be honest, and any of the papers that you get is it's double-sided. Right? Do we have to have that? No, but it is nice. As you can see, this one is the red and white gingham, which is one of my favorites. I just bought a pair of pajamas like that. Oh my gosh. But for today, I'm going to use the stars, just so I thought I'd change it up a bit. So now what we're going to do on this guy is we're going to start. So let me show you how this is going to go first, just so you get the idea. So there's a little ridge right here, right? We're going to use that to our benefit. So we're going to pull that in here. It's not going to look like it's going to fit, so don't stress out, but we're going to start by putting some glue right here. Okay.
And it looks like you're starting on the edge. You're not starting in the middle. You're just
That's
starting
correct.
right off the
And
edge.
really on a circle, it doesn't really matter. But yes, I'm starting on the edge on the circle of the lid. So this is going to hold in place. Okay. I'm going to grab one more little piece in here. This glue gun and I don't always get along. I'm going to
I
push
like
that
that you have
down.
a glue gun though,
Oh my
Kristi.
gosh.
I have some minis and I just like, I feel like it gets everywhere.
Honestly, I am telling you, I like the point on this one, but I also love that it's cordless because I've got a power strip over there, power strip back there. I mean, if you're in a craft room, you have a ton of power strips. So we're gonna pull this on around. If you noticed before I started this, it was a little curved. I kind of bent the paper a little bit for this purpose, so it just kind of wants to fit around pretty easily. And then of course you wipe off the burn on your fingers. So up at the top here, see the point? So you kind of want to like close that up to start with, because when we pull this on around, you see there's a little opening, but we can close it, and we're going to poke that in there, and we're going to
Yeah,
close
so
this up.
before you even really glue the rest of it down, you're like molding it.
That's correct, 100%. Because you want it, and then I'm actually adding glue right here to the edge so it doesn't open up, and you can pop some in on that point as well. Again, so we're going to pull this on around. This is the hardest part of the project, in my opinion. It's not hard, but it's just a little more to work with it, just a little bit more, right?
I just love that it fits so perfectly. You guys, you have to know, as a designer, when you're figuring these things out, the first like 5 you cut will not fit the thing that you're trying to put it on.
100% correct. All right, so we're going to leave this guy. He's safe. He's good to go. And we're going to let him dry. And he's going to pop. So there's a couple of things where you have to just go back in and add a little bit more glue.
Yeah, you just probably have to hold it.
You just have to just mold it and work it.
I love it.
Not afraid of your glue gun. It works great.
So Kristi, while you're finishing and holding that, let's talk a little bit about variations you would do for this for other holidays. So I know it looks like a firecracker, and that's why it makes it perfect for 4th of July.
Right.
But I could totally see this at Christmas, at Halloween, as a fun birthday party thing.
Yep. You can do literally, this is what my brain does. It takes one thing and it makes 5. It doesn't stop. This is a Christmas tree in my brain. This is a Christmas tree with little balls, right? This is a Santa hat, right? This is a princess hat. I mean, you just keep going on, right?
Well, and as you're saying that, I'm like, oh my gosh, it totally is. And I was like, even at the Santa hat, you could put a fluffy ball at the top.
And
a
star if it's a tree.
You could either print out, or you could have the kids hand color Santa faces on the cup
100%.
instead of doing that. So cute.
So many different ways to go about it. And that's one of the things, my daughter last night, she said, Mom, that's a gnome. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, how cute would this be with fur? Like
Did
the
you see
fur
that
hanging
Tiffany just
down.
wrote that? She says it
Did
could
she?
be a
No, I can't see
gnome.
the comments. There's no way.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, a
Tiffany said
gnome.
it looks like it could be a gnome. And then Jamie said unicorn.
Unicorn. That would be fun
That's a
too. There's so
great
many different ways.
idea.
Now I'm gonna have to go make versions of this, y'all.
I
All
right?
right, we're gonna get to our little firecracker here. So again, this is so simple. I promise you don't have to make this perfect. Pull this down. Did I wait for my glue gun too long? Of course. We're just gonna glue that on. I think that's the problem with the cordless is, but I'm gonna put it on here anyways. I think I got enough. So we're just gonna wrap it around, right?
You're just squishing it again.
I'm just squishing it. I'm literally just squishing it. I'm gonna put that up to the camera a little bit more. You see, it's just squishing it. Now, if you're, okay, I did this, okay, it's done, and you see one little pop up here, just throw another. I mean, literally, it's so messy with this glue, it don't even matter. So you can just go in, pop another piece of glue in there, and just plunk it down. Literally, it's really that simple.
I know. And
So
if we
down that
weren't
goes.
chatting this whole time, I could totally see Kristi how you could just like boom, 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 boom,
Boom,
boom.
boom, boom. Yep.
Build so
Especially if
much.
you, like I said, your kids, now they get to fill it, right? So now the fun part begins. So I do like to put some little paper shred just because I'm a little bit extra bougie, is what I've been told by our team. Who said that? Oh, yeah.
Extra bougie,
Extra
Kristi.
bougie, just a little bit extra. So I put in my little stuff, and I have so much, I probably have to pull some out. So we're gonna put in our pop rocks. We're gonna put on our Tootsie Roll, or 2 or 3. If you're an auntie, you can give as many as you want. You're gonna put in one of your
Only
necklaces.
aunties. If you're the parent, you
That's
can't.
right. I have one, my youngest is 15. So I'm almost at the point to be an empty nester, and I'm like, I don't care what you eat. Even to her, I'm like, oh, I don't care. You're fine. She's the baby and she wears it well. So, anyway, we pop in all of our stuff in here. I will tell you that these, what are these called?
I don't
Glow
know. The candy
sticks?
cane.
Glow
Is that
sticks. These
glow
are
stick or is it
it's a
candy cane?
yeah, it's a
Oh, it
glow
is a glow
stick.
stick.
But I will
Oh, what
tell
a cool-
you, when I bought these, I bought them a little big. They do fit. You just got to make sure that you put them in first, not like I just did, because it's going to try to hit that lid.
Mm,
You gotta play with that. So I'm gonna leave it out just for today. But then we're
yeah.
gonna put in our bracelet, and of course we're gonna put in a flag. Look how fun that is on the inside. Can you see it?
So cute.
All right, and that is just about it. So now when you pop this on, I'm just going to tattle a little bit, because when you put that glue on this cup, it does not melt it, but you might need to push your cup in a little bit. Just push it in to
Because it
get
just
it on
melts
there.
it down
It
a little
kind of
bit.
like, yeah, it kind of feels like it goes a little smaller, but if you just, once you get it on there like that, then it's a lot easier to pop on and off with the first time, right? Because I kind of bent the cup a little bit, but that is it. That's literally it.
Oh,
Did I forget anything? I think I got everything on
no,
there.
so cute.
Isn't that fun?
Kristi, tell me, how many do you make of these at a time? Like when you're doing it?
It depends on what I'm doing. Depends. If I have just a small family party at the house, then I might make 10. If I make, like for the church party we went to, let's see, I don't know how many. I had a whole bin of them. And the kids were like, "What is that?"
Hold them
They
up
loved
again,
it.
Kristi,
Yeah.
just so you can see the size on them. Look, those are pretty substantial parts.
Hmm.
That
Well, it's
feels
an
like
8-ounce cup, and it goes up another, what, 8 ounce, what would be an 8-ounce cup, right? So they're
Mhm.
pretty good size. And yet, this is the good part. The treats you put inside, it's not really expensive. You know what I mean? It's not like I've got what, $20 in there or something maybe. So it's more of the presentation than it is what's inside, in my opinion. I mean,
Which
my mama taught us all about presentation. And so I said, Mom, you have ruined us. Thank you so much. Not, she's the one that would say, don't use paper plates when you have a party. I'm like, oh my gosh, I use paper plates, just let you know. But it's presentation. And the kids really, this stuff is going to be lost by the end of the night. It just is. Do you know what I mean? They wear it once, it's done, and you have to be okay with this looking like trash at the end of the night. So
it's so,
anyway, I hope
so
you've
cute.
had fun. But yeah, there's different variations of this that you could do,
And
and
if
a
you
bigger
guys
one.
are, if you're looking for that die cut file, once again, you can go grab it at Kristi Rachelle Studio Etsy, I
Yep.
believe.
Yep,
Dot
it's
Etsy.
in my Etsy shop.
Etsy. So go over to her Etsy shop. What if they just are like, oh, I love Kristi's vibe. I want to go see what she's up to. Would you send them to your Etsy shop or do you have a website or Instagram?
So right now my website is in progress,
Oh, yeah, that's
project
right. 'Cause you're in the
website.
web
So
design class
yes,
at the
I am.
university.
I am. I haven't turned all my stuff in yet, so hang on. I was busy doing this. No. So my website is up and moving. I've got to get it going. I'm working on that. So right now it's Etsy. I do have an Instagram, but I'm again just as I was taught, don't start with that. Start
Yeah.
with your
So
building of your design. So
this is what we're gonna do because I know Kristi's website will probably be done by end of summer because I know she has to turn
yep,
it
because
in
she's
for
yep.
for the University of Arts and Design. So what we'll do is we'll come back to this description and give you a link to that website so you can go see all the things that Kristi's doing. What I love here, you guys, it's a very simple SVG file. So that's a simple piece of it. And the rest of it really feels, because it is, crafting. And so if you're
Yep.
like a true crafter and you're just like, I just love to craft. I don't necessarily like to cut tons of stuff on my my die cutting machine. I just want to do a quick cut. That will make your life easier, right, Kristi? Because you would just cut that
Yes.
out. You cut a whole bunch
Yep.
of those out and call it good.
Yeah, in fact, I think there's two of these that will fit on a 12 by 12 page. And so, yeah, so you can just cut, and then they're all cut out. You're ready to go. And then you just start that assembly line. And it's fun to do with the kids, especially when they're giving. Like, it's always better to give than to receive. And the girls love to give these kind of things out. And, it's just fun for them to help make it too. So I include them. That's what this big craft table is for, is to use it and build a relationship with my girls and all that. So yeah.
So good. Jamie's saying she loves your bouginess and that this is
Oh,
so adorable. Tiffany's saying this is so cute.
thank
Tiffany's
you.
saying just adorable. You're so creative, Kristi. And Craft with Kyanite Sky says, what a fun craft. Love it, Kristi. So good.
Thank you. Good.
I would like to see you turn this into a gnome. Now I'm like super curious how it
I know,
would.
now you're gonna make me now. Yep, it's gonna happen now. I think I need
He's
a
got
gnome
a
with some
beard.
furry. Yeah.
Yes. He
I'm
needs a
thinking like
beard.
like literally fur on his face, a little beard. I think he's so
Of
cute.
course, I'm like, just cut one out on the Silhouette machine. You're like, no, no,
Yeah.
no. We're gonna craft it with some
No,
fur.
no, no, no. We're gonna do some actual. He needs a beard. I can't cut that out on paper.
I love it.
Yeah.
Are you doing
So
anything fun for 4th of July this year?
we're hosting, so I will have a house full. So yeah, these will be part of my decor, and I'm sure my nephews will take them. But yeah, we're doing mostly barbecue. My cul-de-sac that I live on, oh my gosh, you guys, you would think you were going to a major stadium. Last year, I just took my camera and just went 360, and it was fireworks all the way around. And then, of course, I'm in Texas, so things are flat, so you can see fireworks from afar. So yeah, it's really kind of crazy. I kind of sometimes come in the house because I have particles in my backyard and my front yard full of the fireworks because we can do the big ones here. So
Oh,
anyway,
that's so cool. That's
yeah.
super cool. I am also hosting this year. So we
Oh,
throw a pool party every 4th of July. But one of my issues is that I have 2 kids with noise stimuluses. So like 4th of July is like kind of a nightmare for them, which is really kind of hard.
so I have that too. And
Mhm.
so her solution has been to wear her beats.
Oh, good for her. Because she
So like,
likes seeing it.
well,
She
because it
likes seeing
helps
it.
limit that noise, the noise cancellation. Even
Well, I'm
AirPods will help with that.
mine just don't even want to go see them, like, because they've been
Okay,
so
got it.
traumatized for
Yeah,
it that they just
yeah,
like they don't want to be with them. They just like
got
want
it.
to go to their room and like,
Yeah,
and then I have one who loves them, so she's
yeah.
like off with friends doing that, and I actually quite like them, but it's not the same as if you're not with your family.
Mm,
So I find
mhm.
myself being like, I guess we're turning in for the night.
Yeah, I remember that with her when it was worse, and she would go to her room, and and she'd look out the window and watch them, but she didn't want to be near them. But now she's the party girl. She wants to go get spray paint to spray paint our yard, our lawn, or whatnot. And so now she's there. She's more present, and we'll actually do sparklers now. So yeah, the beats were a big thing, and so yeah, it's helped a lot. But I get it, 100%.
I
So
love it so much. You guys, if you have a chance to make this 4th of July project, do tell us in the chat if you make it, whether it's this year
yes.
or next year, because this is evergreen. So we know you will be doing some really cool things. I would love to end on, because you're a crafter, but you are a
Mhm,
designer. You've been
mhm.
designing in Design Suite for 3 years. You are at the University of Arts and Design doing design as well.
Yep.
What advice would you give to, we'll say, a crafter or a designer to that would help them like spark their creativity? What do you do, or what advice would you give?
I first of all would say to spark my creativity. I mean, we all go to Pinterest to see things and colors and color schemes and things like that, but I think just trying stuff. And I absolutely will tell you, I mean, my schedule is so busy. I've got to schedule what I do when I do it and how long I can do it. It's literally down to scheduling fun, even with my family. I know that sounds bad, but it's got to happen. But make the time and just explore. Hey, I think this might work. Just do it. Spark that creativity. And typically speaking, when, I buy something or I look at something, somebody will say, "Well, what are you going to do with that?" I'm like, "I don't know, but I know something." And I think that's key to be okay with that. So many times, sometimes we want to go buy a craft, like say this supplies. I don't know if this is going to work or not. Just buy it and try it because you might end up with something completely different than what you thought you would start with. And I would also say that to be true in the design space too, in designing files and pattern repeats and all of that. What you start with is not typically what you finish with. It's really not. If you look at that, if I start with an SVG design and I think it's going to be a tree or something, right? I'm like, before I know it, I'm like, oh well, then I'm going to put a house next to that tree, and that house and that tree go together, but that wasn't what I started with. So I think that's the thing, is don't be afraid to try, don't be afraid to throw stuff out there. And goodness gracious, if you are into design and anything else like that, get a mentor. 100% get a mentor. Like, I know you didn't ask that question, but you have to have a mentor to kind of tell you it's okay. It's
Yeah,
okay to do that. It's okay to
we've
mess
had a
up.
pretty good time together, Kristi, the last
Yes,
3 years.
have.
Like, it's
We
been
have.
really incredible.
I'm
And
so
if
grateful.
you are looking for that, we have amazing coaches in our program. We have amazing teachers in our master's degree program. You can check out both those things. The first one at designsuitecourses.com/design bootcamp. If you're interested in a design bootcamp, that's kind of how we get people going when it comes to design. And if you're, interested in the university, if you go to uad.education, the University of Arts and Design is opening up right now for fall enrollment. So if you want to come check that out, you can. Kristi's done both.
Yep.
I'm curious, Kristi, what do you think about the differences between the two of them? Because they
It's
are a little
funny.
different, right?
Yeah, they are. I will tell you, for me, just like I said, my schedule and such. First of all, university is no joke. And I say that because when I started Design Suite and I was doing this course and I do that. And again, trying to stay in my lane and taking the advice that you would give me. And I was trying to stay in my lane, but I was so focused. I want to see this and then I want to do that. I don't get to do that in university at all, like at all. And it's like there's a lot of work with deadlines. And for me, my corporate world, my personal life, everything works off of a deadline, and I that makes me sound very structured. I'm actually not very structured, but my schedule has to be, and the reason for that is to get things accomplished. I love a goal and I love a deadline. And what tends to happen with that is if I don't put a deadline, I tend to kind of let everything else get in the way of that. And I think for me in Design Suite, that's what tended to happen. And I literally feel like I am on in the fast lane now. And I think it's literally because of those deadlines. And I feel
Mhm.
like sometimes that sounds negative, like, oh, well, you can't do anything without a deadline. Well, okay. But in reality, it's not. In the way that I look at it, it's not that I can't get things done without a deadline. It's just when you have so much happening all at the same time, you can tend to let things just distract and interrupt you that are really important as well. What's more important? Oh, my family, or I'm going to go design. You have to make tough decisions. And so I feel like the difference between the two is that deadline, and it's no joke. Like, I don't want to get a bad grade. So I have to
You,
put in the
you
work. I'm
and everybody
competitive.
else, the number of people, like, we just had our
Yes.
faculty meeting, and like the number of you are like freaked out about your grades all the
Oh my
time is so
gosh.
fascinating. What I see the difference from what you've gotten out of Design Suite, it's like you kind of got your community of designers from Design Suite. You got your, I mean, you guys
True.
just went on vacation. You got your community. You guys got, I feel like you got all of this, like, here are all the things I can do. And you kind of
Hmm.
got a great start. But it was fascinating when I saw you start the university.
Hmm.
Suddenly I was like, oh, she's turning everything in. Oh,
Oh yeah.
she's actually like every single
Yes.
thing that was coming in. I was like, oh, this is the difference. Like, not
Yes.
that I don't love Design Suite's amazing, and there's so much
100%.
there, and you get a lot of the same coursework. But it
Right.
is fascinating when you have to make a grade on something, how your behavior changes.
Yeah. It feels like a job. And I feel like the difference, and I mean that when I go to work every day, I don't get the option of missing a deadline, right? I don't care if I'm up till 2 in the morning. That's what's happened with Design Suite. And now I'm up till 2 in the morning doing Design Suite stuff. When I say Design Suite, I mean coursework or whatnot, university. But it was something weird in my head where my mindset had to switch from it's a hobby. This is what I think I was doing, to be very honest with you, that it's just my hobby, right?
Mm,
And even though it was my business, I was growing, it was a hobby. And then when I switched over, I'm like, oh, this is a real job. I have to do this, right? It wasn't that do it in your spare time, because we tend to do things like crafting in our spare time. Because why? Oh, it's not important. It's just something fun to do.
mm,
I think that's was the difference for my mindset switch. It
yeah,
is. And then doing
fascinating.
that doing that coursework, there is like an expectation. It's kind of like our kids. If I say, hey, if I put that standard out there, they will meet it.
Mhm.
I might be looking at it going, I don't think they're going to be able to do that. But if I put that standard out there, they're going to rise to it. And I think that's the difference for me.
I think I also put those expectations on you in the university. We
Hmm.
just had a web design meeting, and I was like, no one has turned in anything that I'm like is going to work. And so when everyone hears, oh, no one has turned in anything that's going to work, it's like, oh, shoot, like it's
Yeah,
time to level up. So I started getting emails from people. Will you recheck this? Will you regrade this? And I'm like, yeah, I will. I happily will. And
absolutely.
the reason we're that way is because we care about the results.
Hmm.
We don't care how it takes, the process is important, but it's like the process is going to look like this, right? And we see that
Yes.
also in Design Suite, right? The process is a little bit
Hmm.
like this. And so it's really important that we are part of that process for you so you can get the result you're looking for.
100%. And I feel like when I was in Design Suite, like you were saying, I didn't I'm telling you, this sounds so crazy, but it wasn't until more recently when I went into the university that I realized, oh my gosh, I didn't turn anything in when I was in Design Suite. Again, why didn't I turn it in? And the whole process of your mindset and what your goals are was a big difference for me, right? It, like I said, is it a hobby? Is it a job? Right.
Mm,
And when I realized I didn't turn anything in, I thought, "Oh, I know how to do this." It's so stupid, huh? I know how to do this. And then when I actually started turning stuff in, I'm like, "Oh, I guess I didn't know how to do that." And I thought I did, right? Because I'd had all this training in Design Suite. But then when you turn it in, you're like, "No, you need to fix this or you need to do that." I'm like, "Well, shoot, I thought I knew it, right?" But
mm.
it's that practical hands-on feedback that we get in that university. Of course, we get that in Design Suite too, but not if you don't turn it in. Don't be a meanie.
Not if you don't
Not if you
turn
don't
it.
turn it
And
in. And
that's
now I'm
the
like, I want to dump like 20 things on you now. Like, fine, here we go. I'm going to turn this in, right? So
It's
I think
so
it's huge.
interesting too because I mean, I think Asia's here. Asia's the queen of being like, turn stuff in. She's one of our
Hmm.
coaches. Turn stuff in. And like people don't turn stuff in. I'm like, we literally set up Design Suite like a university without the degree
Yes.
for that very reason, so that we could look at your stuff, so we could make sure
Yeah.
it was good to go. And not everybody utilized it. And
Hmm.
dude,
It's
we're
this,
asking you to make us work.
it's sad though. It's really sad because I actually went through this little time of feeling like almost like I don't want to say loser, that's really strong, but I felt like, oh my gosh, I wasted all that time and not turned anything in. And in reality, you're just helping me. And but I thought it's like you think you know it. And the reason Asia says that is because she's had to deal with me. She's like, turn it in,
Well,
turn it in.
Asia says it
But
because she was one of my first designers, and she was almost like methodical about the way she turned things out.
mhm,
So Asia would turn stuff into me almost every single week when I would do their submissions. And I remember being like, Asia, you turned this in already. She was like, but I made these changes to the collection. I'm like, they look good. Just go. Like you're ready to go. But I
mhm,
love that she did because I knew her work so well, that I
yeah.
knew her style so well, that I knew I could be like, this is good. You're ready to go. But it also
Mhm,
made it easier when it was time for her to pivot her business. Because
yeah.
once I was like, and I see that with you, Kristi, as well. Like it's nice because once I see your work enough, or the coaches see your work enough, you kind of know when it's time to pivot someone's business. You're like,
Mhm,
hey, I think we're to the point where the artwork is this way and the style is this way. Maybe it's time we got into this medium or we went to this
mhm,
shop. And
yeah.
that's really powerful, I think, in any kind of mentoring program or educational program. I say
Mhm,
mentoring because I know you always say get a mentor, but also, I mean, we're a traditional education program,
yeah.
right?
Right, right, right. Absolutely. And I think that that's very true in learning what you did right in that and what did not go well, is so great to be able to run that by someone to say, even, on the turning in at the university or at the design suite, mentor spots. And it just is super valuable because if not, if I mean, literally, if you just took all that away today and I'm over here doing my little crafty things or I do whatever, my SVGs and all my stuff, I don't know if it's not good until it doesn't sell. I don't know that, right? So
True.
for me, that's exactly what it gives all of us is to pivot or change or hey, you need to stop doing this baby stuff and level up. You've told me that before. You need to level it up
Yeah.
because you are capable more. And I've always said I want whoever's in my life, whether it's friends, iron sharpens iron, or my mentors or people, your job or your expectation of me is to get the work done, right? And to get it done to the best of my ability. Your job is to say, hey, push me. Your job is to push me to the edge of
Mhm.
where I think I can go. And that's what the university did. Because when I would get stuck or I didn't turn stuff in Design Suite, I would do it in university and go, well, I just got to do it. I just got to turn this in and then I'm going to get the feedback. Or I would hit this wall of, I don't know how to do this. Why don't I know how to do this? She taught it. And then I'd go searching in my design suite to go try to fix it. But I had to do it. You just have to just do it and do the hard stuff, even though if it's not perfect or it may not be right, but getting that feedback is so valuable. I cannot say it enough to turn the stuff in. Do the university where you have to turn stuff in. Nobody wants a bad grade, right?
Yeah.
So that's what the differences have been for me. And I think I don't know, maybe I'm the one of the only ones that has had that happen, but I've heard a lot of people say that
No,
it's
I think
been
it's a personality thing. That's what we're
yeah.
kind of figuring out. And that's kind of we have the two entities. We have the people who just want to do it the way they want to do it. We also have like
Mhm.
people who are like true, what I would say, go-getters. Like they've
Right,
already accomplished a certain amount and they just really need to get that submissions. The
right.
university is different because, and you and I have had many discussions about this,
Yep.
degree is pretty important to many
Oh,
people.
yeah.
And so, because the decree is so important, because it will lift you up in corporate, it will lift you up in a lot of different. And then some people just love the confidence that a degree or a
Mhm.
design certificate will get you. That's a really powerful thing as well. So,
It is.
it
It
we
is.
always want to be wherever people's goals are, and the goals. If the goals is just let's build a business, it's like oh, design suites for you. If you're like
Mhm.
I would like a degree and I need the confidence that degree would give me, and I'd like to build a business, we're like go to the university.
Yep.
So
100%.
it's
Yep.
so
I
good.
can't wait to get all mine done and I keep thinking, okay, just keep building and because I'm working full time doing design suite university and then also building my business. And now I have to schedule. I'm like, dinner? Who's eating dinner? Nobody's eating dinner.
Oh man,
It's
it
like, I
is
don't even care.
well, and I've been complaining about summertime with kids too. It makes it like that extra layer of craziness. But you guys,
Hmm.
it's one short life. Do all the
Yeah.
things you really, really want to do. Just do
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, and I think at this age, this is where the switch flipped for me. My son moved out, and I was like, I get to do, I can do, I don't know why that did that, but it was probably a midlife thing. I don't know. Who knows? We could go into therapy right now, right? But anyways, but it's like everything changed. One person in your house or out of your house, it just changes the dynamic, which includes summer. I see all the food behind you. I'm like, the food consumption in summer. I'm like,
Hold on, you guys get the. I'm in Bear Lake right now, so we have a rental house up here, and I came to check on the house because we have to make sure it's all running and all that other stuff. And that's where we put all the food. And it's like, I mean, my kids are in and out, and I'm surprised one hasn't walked in. And so, it's just managing life, you guys. And that's why I think I love the design suite and I love university is we're a lifestyle education system. We understand, we get it. We also are going to push you, but we also get it because I'm living the same life with you guys.
Yep, it is. And
wonderful.
your authenticity to know that we're all normal, running around, crazy, trying to do all the things. And again, I don't think I'm ever going to catch up to your energy level of getting stuff done. But at any rate, I don't have to. Even if I'm half there, I still win, right? But it's just helped too to know that, hey, someone else is trying to run a life, run a business, and a bit, all the things at the same time. So that's been helpful as well. So but I'm here for life. I've said that, and it feels like it's going to be. Karina's like, no, go.
I'm like,
Get out of the
no,
nest.
you don't need design suite right now, Kristi. And she's like, no, actually, I do. She came into our monthly program. I'm like, that's fine. That's great.
Because I wasted the 3 years. That's probably why, or that time
You
that I was
did
in
not
design suite.
waste it.
I did not waste it. You're
at
right.
a different pace, right?
Yeah, you're right.
We have people who go at different paces, and there's nothing wrong with that. You guys, this has been so fun to have Kristi on. I didn't know we were going to get into all that, but that's really fun. It's good for you guys to hear, especially those of you who've been wondering. Come join us for a design boot camp if you're interested in Design Suite. We have a new series going up for the university, totally free, called Design Your Future. Should be up, we're hoping, around next week or so. If you're listening to this live, it's probably available now. Just go to uad.education and you can join in on that and meet the faculty and learn about why we do what we do, because we are very unique from other universities and for good reasons. So keep it up, you guys. Keep that creative going. And I hope you did this activity for 4th of July, because so fun. And if not, I'm excited to see, maybe we'll have Kristi back with some other ideas.
Do that gnome.
Yeah, to do some
do the gnome.
So fun. Also, if you're here on the YouTube channel, really quick, if you're not paying attention, we have so many new events coming out. So just, we're doing a whole After Dark live series, summer crafting along, like a summer holiday craft along. So if you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure and subscribe. We have a number of new lives coming to you, because the barn is supposed to be done. This is what I'm told, in the next week or so. And so we've got some really good things ready for you guys. So anyway, Kristi, will you just hold on right there? We're going to end this and we'll see you guys soon. Want to hold that up so everyone see it?
I was going to hold it up there. Thanks y'all for joining. Karina, thanks for having me. And I hope you all make it. So let's see what you make.
See you guys.
Thanks.